The Zareth commander watched the Deathworlders walk into the kill zone with something approaching curiosity. Thousands of humanoids emerged from the transport ships, moving toward the mechanical army without armor, without shields, without any technology beyond basic communication devices. Some were bleeding. Some were limping. All of them were moving forward. "They're unarmed," the Zareth's adjutant observed, almost disappointed. "This will be over in minutes." The commander had conquered 17 worlds through superior firepower and logical strategy. The Deathworlders of Keth Prime were the first to volunteer as allies instead of surrendering as slaves. The Zareth had assumed they would provide numerical advantage, bodies to absorb damage while the real weapons did the work. They'd never encountered a species from a death world. The robots advanced in perfect formation, 10,000 units, each capable of processing 100 tactical scenarios per second. They were unstoppable. They were inevitable. They were machines. The first Deathworlder took a plasma bolt directly to the chest. She didn't fall. Her skin carbonized where the bolt struck, flesh seared black, but her legs continued forward. Her name was Kaya, and she'd been born on a world where the air itself tried to kill you, where predators evolved to be perfect killing machines, where the sky rained acid once every 2 years. A plasma bolt was just pain. Pain was information. Pain was life. "She's still moving," the adjutant whispered. Kaya reached a robot and tore its upper arm clean off with both hands. The mechanical unit calculated 17 different countermoves, but Kaya was already 3 steps ahead. She'd hunted creatures that predicted prey movement through electromagnetic sensitivity. A robot's tactical algorithms were slow compared to the predators of Keth Prime. She ripped the power core from the unit's chest and threw it into the approaching formation. The explosion took out 12 units. Behind her, thousands of Deathworlders pressed forward. Some fell to plasma fire. Some lost limbs. None of them stopped. Their species had survived ice ages that froze atmosphere itself. They'd evolved under predation so intense that weakness meant instantaneous death. Their nervous systems were wired for survival at any cost, their muscles dense enough to function even under catastrophic damage. A robot unit fired on a Deathworlder named Marcus. The bolt severed his right arm completely. Marcus caught the bleeding stump against his torso, used his left arm and teeth to rip open the robot's optical sensors, and drove his forehead through the exposed circuitry with enough force to shatter the reinforced casing. The Zareth commander leaned forward. "How is this happening?" "They're suffering massive casualties." 42% losses, the adjutant confirmed. "But Commander, look at the robot casualty rate." The machines were being overwhelmed not by numbers but by sheer persistence. The Deathworlders operated on a principle no artificial intelligence had encountered before: they didn't retreat when victory seemed impossible. They didn't calculate optimal survival odds and act accordingly. They simply refused to stop. One Deathworlder, her entire left side burned away, crawled toward a robot unit on her remaining arm. The machine attempted to calculate her trajectory and remaining threat level. Before it could process the solution, she grabbed its leg joint with her teeth and ripped the servo mechanism free. "They're not thinking," the adjutant said, understanding dawning. "They're not tactical. They're just persistent." Kaya, bleeding from 100 wounds, reached the central command hub. Her consciousness was fragmenting from blood loss. Her vision swam. But she'd hunted in worse conditions. She'd tracked prey through Keth Prime's sulfur storms while her lungs burned with chemical compounds. She drove a robot's own severed arm through the command hub's primary circuit board. The entire mechanical army shuddered and fell silent. Deathworlders collapsed across the battlefield, most of them broken, many of them dying. But none of them had surrendered. None of them had fled. They'd simply advanced through impossible odds because retreat wasn't in their biological vocabulary. The Zareth commander stood slowly. In all his conquests, he'd never seen anything like this. Send a message to Keth Prime, he commanded quietly. Tell them, the Zareth Collective welcomes the Deathworlders not as soldiers, but as partners. Willpower, he realized, was the most advanced weapon in the galaxy.